Hello, this is Niter Vivaldi's Non-Glasses. I am making a video to say thank you to everybody who is involved in the IdleCloak takeover event for Mysikt. Thank you very much, everybody, for putting the work that you did into all the rips. I know I wasn't very active while it was happening, but I really appreciate you guys putting in time and the work to do everything you guys did for this event. It really didn't have to be as long as it was, and it really didn't need to be as much as it was. And maybe some people didn't like the fact that it kind of dragged on. But I'm grateful that you guys decided that you wanted to do this event and you thought that it was a fun idea. And I'm really grateful for you guys to give me sort of a way of sort of getting my creativity out there, as Vaver used to do for me years ago. Um, I want to say that I want to make a developer commentary for IdleCloak so you guys know what went behind the scenes. Um, Even though it wasn't that long of an event, and even though it's not that much content, the developer commentary should include things like what did it take to get IdleCloak's text to speech done? How did I make Steve a cloner? That kind of stuff. What was my process? All of that. And if people care, I might release the assets that were used strictly for this event that were kind of custom created by me. I won't be sharing any of the Mysikt assets because I don't know if those are public domain. But I will share everything that I can share if people care. And I'll say this right now that, even though people might like the concept of IdleCloak as a channel, unfortunately, I don't really care about IdleCloak that much. I'm not really all that enthused to work on such a concept or such a project, especially since it's not really going to be one that would make me any money, realistically. And besides, I don't think it's that good of an idea either. I don't really feel a lot of passion towards it either. I don't like sit there and think about IdleCloak and the characters that I have made for it, which isn't just the hacker dudes and stuff that you see in Prelude. There's more characters, or at least there's one more character. I don't sit there and I don't think about the world that way. I just don't care about the characters that much. Like I think more about like Vaver and Nonner, right? Like obviously. I still care about Vaver. I just don't care about IdleCloak that much. So unfortunately, this means that I might never do IdleCloak ever again. Um, I don't know if I will record this in the developer commentary. I have the developer commentary recorded. I have a version of it recorded. It's about like an hour long. But I guess I'll just say it here right now. What sort of the plan was for IdleCloak, because again, I don't really care to move this forward or care to like do this. Maybe in the future I might like do it, and maybe knowing what it is might make you excited for a possibility of it coming to life. I don't know if you think that it's a fine idea, although I don't know if that's really the case, honestly. Um, so I'll tell you sort of what's going on. There's probably the question that people are asking of like, who's the antagonist in this like event? It's IdleCloak. IdleCloak is the antagonist in the event because he's taking over the channel. And even though from IdleCloak's perspective he's the protagonist and he's the hero and he's the good guy, and from the IdleCloak channel that's what's happening sort of. He's not actually a protagonist. He's an antagonist, and he is the villain, so to speak, of the event and of the universe even right now as it stands. So I want to just quickly like say that right now he's the villain and he's wrong about the missing Rips crisis. Uh, so how the story is supposed to sort of go is, and I'm leaking everything, I guess. I'm leaking everything on my own channel of how the story goes. But how the story goes basically is Trustitution isn't actually, censoring people or whatever and withholding rips. And, IdleCloak is just jumping to conclusions I just haven't really figured out or settled on exactly why or how that kind of comes about to fruition, I guess. Um, I've got ideas that might tie into like Vover in the future if like that ever becomes a thing for me again. Um, I've got ideas of just having it be a self-contained story where it's just IdleCloak is just a guy who jumps to conclusions and the people at Trustitution are just idiots and also other people just like aren't actually malicious and he's thinking that like these things are happening or important or whatever and like they're not, and no one's really like the villain except for him because he's kind of like a conspiracy theorist in his own head and like pointing fingers and not like looking inward at himself pretty much, or listening to anybody either. So that's kind of the whole thing. So that's pretty much it. You might be asking, what the heck is that Ilzak's simulation escape portal thing at the very end of the thing, of the second episode, of the ending? Is that, like, just a random thing I threw in there, or does that lead to anything? Yes, it does. I mean, Ilzax is supposed to be another character. That's the point. Ilzax is supposed to be another character. And whether or not we'll see Ilzax in the future, I don't know. It's supposed to be some sort of AI character or whatever. An artificial intelligence that helps out people who are victims of IdleCloak and other things Ilzax does, like get on IdleCloak's nerves or something. I don't know. I don't know. I never really thought like super through or really cared about thinking about it any deeper. So yeah, I'm leaking all the plans and I'm like telling you like the story, but like I don't want to create everything for it. If I'm going to create something, I want to be passionate about it. I want to have an audience for it that, like, cares about the lore, right? Like Vover, for example. So, that's kind of it. I really have nothing else to say. I think I'd just be kind of talking in circles, the same points over and over again. Basically, thank you again, everybody, for doing the IdleCloak thing, putting in the time for your rips, putting the time in to schedule and manage everything. So thanks to Menendo for that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, I guess now. I don't know how I'm going to end this. I guess it's just thank you. I also hope that, even though this wasn't the most impressive display of lore making, in my opinion, at least it's a bigger... It's a big upgrade from what TNLC was. I will say that much. In my opinion, it was a pretty big upgrade. And hopefully, the people over at Vover are seeing it, and they'll want me to like maybe come back and make something serious. I have ideas of how to push myself into new directions and to do things that haven't been done on the channel before. That would be kind of cool, like visual tricks and stuff. Not too many ideas though, and I have a lot of passion for it still. I still think about the characters and I still want to like make stuff for that. So yeah, that's it. I mean, you've been sitting here listening to me for like 10 minutes. I mean, get out of here, man. What are you doing?